and welcome to Sci-Futures podcast. The podcast, hello, the podcast that imagines what it might be like in future sci-fi world. And every week we look at a different sci-fi film and we imagine what it might be like in that scenario or in that future world. Very simple. We just shoot the shit, basically. My name is Wee Claire. I'm your host, and joined is my lovely, awesome, weirdo co-host, Rupert Booth. Everybody, Rupert Booth.
Hello. That was very Scottish. Lovely, awesome, weirdo.
Hey, I didn't swear. That would have been more Scottish. So
Give it time. It's early days.
Oh God, yeah. There'll be a lot of swearing on this. I can
We're
guarantee it.
only seconds in. There has to be for this film. There has to be.
So before we start, how has your week been, Rupert? How have you been?
It's been busy. I like last week. I'm still confused as to how I'm ending up so busy in lockdown. Most of it's writing based, but hopefully before too long the writing will stop and then the filming will begin.
Yes. Can we say but can we allude to anything? I mean, it's up to you.
Dark code, and just say dark code and leave it at that.
Dark code. Is this a world first? Is this a world's first? You're saying this for the first time out loud?
I think I might be saying it for the first time out loud. There's a few hashtags floating about on Twitter, but yes, might be the first time I've mentioned it in public. Yes, dark code.
No,
it's a code, and it's dark.
Well, again, it does what it says in the tin. It's a dark code.
It's not a light code.
No, it's not a luminous code or a glowing code. No.
No. Well, it might glow. Anyway, I've said too much.
He spoiled it, that's it. Spoiled.
I know, that's the whole thing broken.
Actually, it's definitely glowing. In fact, it might be neon. Fucked it. He fucked it. That's it.
Yeah. Fear the neon.
Dark.
Neon.
Fear the neon. I love that. Oh my God, I love that. Fear the neon. In fact, that's my wardrobe. That's my wardrobe shat on.
Oh, is it?
Because I love neon and I'm wearing shoulder pads today. I'm quite 80s.
I was going to say that's the 80s then, isn't it? Well, but I'm not wearing flares though, so you have no excuse.
So what? You're very dapper for this podcast today. You're very...
Thank you. Yeah, I thought I'd put a jacket on for once.
Is that a polo neck as well? Is that a roll neck?
It is. Yes.
Oh, actually looking very 60s.
That I just had on. I know it's a sort of secret agent thing. I just thought I'd put a jacket on because we're talking about such an important and seminal piece of cinema today. I thought I've got to pay respect to it.
Oh, right. Okay. So he's got his thinking outfit on, guys. He's got his thinking outfit on. Yep, when the roll neck's out, that's it. Rupert takes no prisoners when he's got his roll neck on. Oh, yes. Under Console Pod says, Rupert equals Illuminati. Well...
They wouldn't have me.
Well, Console Pod, I can neither confirm nor deny, which is very... Is he lizard? I don't know.
I did not the last time I looked.
So, tell us about this film. What is the film that we are talking about this week, Rupert? Let's move on from that.
That's a good question. What is the film we're talking about? So the film we're talking about this week is one of those ones that came out. It's a B-movie science fiction. When the UFO craze started in the late 40s and then through the 50s, there were all the great science fiction films, things like Forbidden Planet, Day the Earth Stood Still. These were high-budget spectacles, well-written, well-acted. And then you got the other side of the equation. You got the films that were made as a cheap, quick cash-in, and this, as far as I understand, is absolutely the epitome of one of those. Yes. It's up there with The Great Robot Monster.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe not that bad actually, but yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, it's about a brain, a floating brain that kind of. Turns up on Earth in a cave. Caves.
Caves. We're not talking about caves just yet. But...
There's the mythos starting there. Oh, that could be in the game. We could have a floating brain turning up at some point.
Or we could just have like Easter eggs in our cave FMV.
Tiny brain, yeah.
There's just that little brains in the corner. Maybe we have a rolled up poster of this film in the background.
Nice. Someone gets special eyes at some point.
Yes. So it's the Brain from Planet Arous.
Arous, spelled Arous.
Spelled Arous.
And I think you see, I didn't see this film for years. I think I first read about it in one of those great science fiction encyclopedias that came out in the 80s, one of the great thick books in the school library. And I swear that it was misprinted in there as double A, because I always called it Arous.
Arous. Right, okay.
Yeah, and it just isn't. It isn't. They pronounce it Arous. I'm kind of cheated by the film itself not being. They should be from the planet.
I think Arous sounds better, but I don't know why
It
they
does.
call it Eros. But yes,
Yeah,
anyway, well, we do actually
we'll
cover that.
we'll get to this. Yes.
We will absolutely get to this. So now let's explain the plot. You mentioned
Really?
yes. Let's explain it. There is a plot of sorts.
Sort of.
So
Yeah.
Rupert, explain to us what the plot is. Now again, spoiler alert, guys. But you can watch this for free on YouTube. But go for it. What is the plot?
And it was out in the 50s. It's a bit late. So Steve, who's a proper American good guy and scientist, and he treats his wife well, I imagine, at least by 50 standards, but that's another conversation we'll get on to.
Yes.
And he's best friends with his wife's dad, and they both put her down together because she's only a woman after all.
Yes.
And one day Steve and his friend go off to Mystery Mountain. It's actually set at a place called Mystery Mountain. So straight away you're going, don't go to Mystery Mountain. And don't go with just two of you to Mystery Mountain, because you know what's going to happen. One of you is going to die, and the other one's going to come back strangely changed. And oh, you went and did it, didn't you?
If the place is called Mystery Mountain, I'm not going there.
Expect a thing. Go to Safety Cave.
Not yeah. Oh, there's a cave. There is a cave in Mystery Mountain. So what happens? What happens in this cave?
So Steve and his nondescript mates, whose name I can't even remember, with their enormous sweat stains because they've been travelling through the desert for ages because Steve's mad and decided they're going to do this. Because a thing came down. And it's emitting hard gamma. And all scientists run straight towards hard gamma radiation. I mean, yeah, everyone does that. Did Bruce Banner die in vain? He didn't die, but anyway.
Yeah.
And so his mate gets killed, and then there's this brain, there's this enormous floating brain, and they kind of go WTF and shoot at it because 1950s America. And then Steve comes back strangely changed.
Yes.
No sign of his mate. He's been away for like 3 weeks or something, and his wife's all kind of going, you boys, when you get an idea into your head, you frequently just vanish for 3 weeks and isn't remotely suspicious. And doesn't at any point go, look, is there something you maybe want to tell me?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I went to Mystery Mountain and I saw a brain.
With my mate.
With my mate. Yeah. Like, for no reason at all.
I mean, we were away for 3 weeks. But she's all kind of like, oh, that's fine, I'll make you an entirely new dinner to replace the one that I've been keeping for 3 weeks because I'm a dutiful housewife, and my God, she is a dutiful. Oh, my God. And the dad turns up, and he's gone all a bit randy, has Steve. He kisses her, and she's kind of going, oh, swoon, you have never kissed me like that. And in all fairness, she's a very attractive woman, and if he hasn't kissed her like that before, then I don't know what's wrong with Steve.
But it's because, to explain to you guys further, this brain actually reveals itself to be a terrorist from the planet Arous called Gore. Gor, Gore, right? And so he can inhabit the body of someone, and he chooses to inhabit the body of Steve, right? To do his evil bidding. Okay, to take over and destroy. He wants power. Okay,
he does. Yeah,
he wants power. Now, as soon as he takes over Steve's body, he becomes instantly horny. That's literally what happens. He's like, oh, what are these feelings I have never felt before?
It's kind of like, hello, what's all this stuff? Right, wonder what that does. Oh, hello, what's that?
He's like, this exciting woman, this exciting female.
This exciting female, yes.
Oh my God. And guys, it's very 50s.
Gore kind of comes out at one point, and Steve's going, no, leave me. And he goes, no, I'm with you forever, and I'm going to have your exciting female, and all that sort of thing. It's kind of, you're not a nice brain. You're just not nice.
He's not a nice brain at all. And this is the thing, right? This film came out in 1957, and I think, and now there was many other films that came out in the 50s that were much beyond their time. We spoke about The War of the Worlds, which was incredible, which is a really great choice from Rupert. And of course, you also have you've got the good stuff, you've got the crap stuff. And this stuff, though, this is good. It's easy to watch. It's just over an hour. It's very 50s, and it's very much a film of its time. Between the way that they treat the female character versus the male characters, you have to expect that the hammy treatment
It's not that bad in some films, though. There's no excuse for it. I mean, some films do it better.
yes.
Steady Earth Stood Still, the female character is incredibly important. You know,
Yes,
she's the second
absolutely.
lead and relates to Klaatu and is the voice of reason.
But in
A lot
this
of the
is
time,
not at
calm.
all. And this is
But
just
this,
not.
she has no reason whatsoever. You know, she can just about manage to do some really good burgers, but you give her anything else, and she kind of swoons and faints and goes.
There's a lot of oh my god, which is again,
Yeah.
this is a complete opposite turn. This is like cookie cutter, you know. And then as we move on, we see that there's another brain called Vol that comes to because Vol is like, we are from the planet Arous, and I have come to sort out this guy Gore, who's this other
good brain. This is good brain.
good brain
up.
and bad brain, right?
Although I do love the fact that whenever he says Vol, it just sounds to be like Ball. So it's kind of going, "Hi, I am Ball. I'm going to possess your dog." And it's kind of like, "All right, Ball. You know."
We haven't even talked about the dog possession. There is a moment in the film. There is a moment in the film where Vol says, right, okay, I think they come up with this grand plan, and Vol says, right, so I think I should possess somebody who is always near Steve, so that when Gore comes out of Steve's body, I can pretty much save the day. So it is, at one point, you know, Sally is the female character's name.
He's kind of angling for Sally, is Vol. I mean, her dad goes first. Then let it be me. And the brain goes, well, you know, but yeah, she's kind of nearer, and you just for a moment you think, Gore and Vol haven't got a thing going on, and just want to kind of get into some bodies and get into some bodies.
Maybe Gore and Vol are actually really they're in love. Maybe Gore and Vol are in love, and maybe they just want to like try and like sort of see that love through human eyes.
Show me more of this earth thing you call kissing, that sort of thing.
What's kissing? Actually, I think I'll be Sally for a while, and
I'll be Sally for a while and just see what happens. Mind you, if they did do that, then I imagine Vol would fairly quickly be going, "Oh my god!" and getting the hell out of Sally's body, which is more than good.
And Cactus Snacks in the chat has picked something up about the names of the brains. He said Vol and Gore, vulgar.
Oh, nice.
I like that connection. I really like that connection. Okay. Because in this, there's lots of... So it's basically, Gore wants to seek and destroy. So we can see in the image that I've just put up, you've got Steve's eyes glaze over. They become glowing. They become kind of shiny. And he goes, haha. And that's when he can destroy capital cities.
Blows planes up with a thought and wipes buildings out and armies and all that. Typical thing of 50s films, you know, the army is completely useless.
Yes, the army is
against
useless.
this force. They're brave, but hey, it ain't gonna work.
Absolutely useless. And we skipped a little bit, but we're talking about going from body to body. So the father says, "Let it be me." And he goes, well, what about the female life? You know, because she's with Steve all the time, and she goes, okay, doesn't say much. And then she goes, well, what about the dog? He's with Steve and I all the time. And I was like, no way is it going to be the dog. Yes way, it's the frigging dog.
It's the dog. Yep. Alien brain possesses dog. Excellent. And that makes this film worth it alone.
Yes. Oh my god. Absolutely. Yeah. So the dog gets possessed. Now the dog doesn't really do very much. Stuff happens and...
No, the dog sort of sits there kind of as a containment vessel for when Vol needs to emerge.
Yes.
But all right, you know, could have had a jar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even like a jar. But what about, why did you choose this? So apart from it being hammy and things like, why did you choose this? And what is it about this film you love? So tell me that.
Partially because I love it. Well, so the reason I chose it is it came into my mind as an absolute counterpoint to Ridley. We talked about Alien last week.
Yes.
And you know, where you have an incredibly powerful female character, which is done deftly and effortlessly and without lots of shouting.
Yeah.
In this, you have the absolute opposite end of the representation of women in science fiction.
Yes.
You know, she has no real story value apart from, you know, putting down a bit of paper at the end that's got a clue on it.
Yeah.
But, you know, frankly, anyone could have done that. A dog could have done that.
Yeah.
You know, she is literally there to be pretty and to be wifely and to be protected by the men.
Yes.
And it's just the worst.
And like only like, so where is it, like 20 something years, 22 years later, it's so changed with
Yeah.
Alien, which is, and even the effects, everything. Wow, in 2 decades.
I
If you
mean,
re-
even by Star Trek, which is less than 10 years later, you've got Uhura on the bridge, and it's not even remarked about. Of course, she's there. She's an officer. She's doing a job. Shut fuck. You know.
100%. And Star
Um,
Trek was really a beacon for diversity and things as
oh yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. There's no one non-Caucasian in the Brain from Planet Arous.
Yes.
Arous.
This is
Arous.
completely like a very one-dimensional
Oh, hugely.
view, but
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. And you got to take it for what it is. Like,
it's fun.
it is
Yeah.
fun, and
If
it
you don't, if,
shows the other side of sci-fi, like horror, like like every other genre. That other side, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, if you don't go in it with any expectations and just want to laugh, it's great. It's really entertaining, and that's why I chose it really because it entertains me and it entertains everyone I shows it to.
Yes, yes.
So
Because when you said, "Oh, we're gonna do this next week. Let's do this one," and I was like, oh, "Okay."
yeah,
I'm not sure. Although I loved the poster and stuff. I was like, I wasn't sure, so I watched it whilst I was working, and I found myself looking up more and more and going, "What? The dog? The
yeah,
dog? What?"
yeah, yeah.
What? And even his
And
face when he's like doing the eyes thing and the face.
well, that sort of it, yeah,
It's
yeah,
so good. But you know, this film, across the board, got pretty bad reviews, right? Which is not surprising. But it's actually hit B movie cult status
mm, mm,
now, which is incredible. And it's appeared, so references to this film and excerpts and things have appeared in various pop culture
mm.
sort of references, like Malcolm in the Middle, for example. And I think there's a rap song, and there's other singers and
There is.
musicians.
There's several songs, yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's lots, and even the eyes, right? So
Mm.
Steve, the character Steve, his eyes when he does that. Okay, so those lenses were actually lined with metal foil. And they were used later on for a Trek TV pilot where no man has gone before, which is
Second
amazing,
pilot,
which is brilliant, which is
yeah.
so great. But I was
And
looking.
where the guy gets special powers and can just destroy things while starting, he's doing a Steve basically. So the Brain from Planet Arous, basically, if it wasn't for that, no Star Trek.
So see, there's echoes of
That might
things.
not be easy to prove. Actually, that might be a bit far.
No,
But
but
let's go with it.
I think there's echoes if you're a proper sci-fi nerd, which
Mm.
Rupert definitely is,
Oh yeah.
and you have watched all of these kind of things and everything in between, and then you become a filmmaker or a writer. Of course, you will take the best
Mm.
or the most fun parts of the things. I mean, do you do that with your writing? You take the
Yeah.
best of things and
Oh
you try
yeah.
and.
It's mostly influences rather than, I mean, you don't try and steal direct storylines. I'll put a line in occasionally, but influences and feelings and things. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tones.
Yeah, because
Um,
it's hard to not. It's hard to do that even in music. Anything creative, you have to take that inspiration without seeing being plagiaristic, and that's there's a fine balance there. And I
absolutely.
definitely see. I mean, the way, I mean, aliens possessing bodies. You know, things. I mean, even that idea in itself. Do you know what I mean? Being not in control of your own head, your own brain,
Mm.
because there's and that fear of destruction because of aliens. All of these very simple themes even get echoed all the way
And
through.
the Mr. Trick there, the sad thing is that if they had actually portrayed Sally properly, then that could have been horrible when Steve's kind of forcing himself on her because you'd know what Steve inside must be feeling at that point. You know, that could have actually really been played properly
Absolutely,
and would have been a lot
absolutely.
more powerful, but they just throw that away.
Yeah, they do. There's that's quite a tense moment. I've got a
Yeah.
still from that moment up on there, and he forces herself. Nothing ends up happening. I think he just
No.
moves her dress down a bit, so you just see a shoulder because it was
Mm,
1957, obviously.
mm, mm.
And then she kind of goes, oh, instead of kind of being absolutely disgusted, she goes, oh, you're not yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she kind of reverts back to type. And I wonder, Rupert, how she must have felt as an actress. I wonder if she questioned it or had a say at all.
I bet she took the check and went home.
Yeah, just took the check and went home.
I bet she knew exactly what it was she was doing. I mean, despite the fact she's got nothing to do, it's actually not a bad performance.
Yeah,
You know,
actually, she's fine. She's absolutely fine.
she's not, none of the actors are spectacularly not the lead actors are spectacularly embarrassing.
No,
It's just the dialogue that they're having to say is, but they do try.
but
Um,
even in that, I think that scene, because we've talked a lot about her role But I think even you're right about Steve. Like that moment as well for Steve as a decent guy, because he's a decent guy in this. He's not a bad guy.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
He's a good fiance. He's a really decent man, and you could play that in an even better way. He just kind of goes, "Oh, absolutely. Leave me alone," and he kind of walks off, kind of thing.
For the Netflix series I'm planning, the return of the brains from planet Arous, it'll be much more that sort of thing. It'll be much more realistic and down to earth, I promise.
Yes, much more realistic. Only the best from Rupert. Only
the
best.
Yeah.
So let's have a little chat about the themes. So
yes.
I'm going to say this first. Arous, I was pronouncing it Arous until I heard them say it in the program and in the film, and they say Arous. I did a bit of digging, did a bit of reading, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. Why are they pronouncing it like that? Why? And there was a time in the 50s and the 60s where there was a Freudian boom. So Sigmund Freud and his ideology is a big boom. And Eros is very similar to the Greek god of love and sex, Eros, right? And so it's supposed, you can read about this online, I was reading that supposedly that this is reference to that. I mean, we do see the brain that enters Steve's head is very horny.
Yeah, it's the horniest invading alien you ever get.
He doesn't say, oh, power and blah blah blah. He's definitely got some strong feelings towards Sally straight away. He doesn't go, this tastes nice, food. Oh, this feels weird. It's just like this exciting female.
Goes, oh, cool, blimey, etc. Yeah.
So I feel that at the time, if we go back to the time, there was a lot that wasn't talked about, and around about the 50s and 60s, that is when there were more sexual themes starting to enter various films, and that was being talked about a lot more, and a lot more studies as well into different tastes in that area and things like that, and psychological studies. People were looking at things a lot deeper, I think. Not even as deep as they were now, but a lot deeper. About homosexuality, about, straight love and things like that as well. So they were looking at all of these different layers. And so do you think that they took this into consideration, or do you think it's happen chance?
My honest answer is I think it's happen chance. I think that the level of thought that went into that script doesn't allow for anything like that. But going with the idea that it might be, it's an interesting concept. I was thinking about it earlier, when you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, you got a lot of stuff in the 50s of the aliens are coming for your women.
Yes.
That happens a lot. Sort of, they will come for you. They're coming for your women to take them back to Mars or Venus and do special things to them. It's kind of like, I wonder what that's about. What do the invaders represent at this point? Who are they? In America, in the 50s, draw your own conclusions.
So you think it's happen chance, but what do you think they represent then, Rupert? What do you think that they represent?
To be honest, I think that particular neurosis at the time in America in the 50s probably represents anyone who isn't Caucasian.
Right, got you.
I would guess.
So it's just outside forces coming in, kind of
well,
thing.
It's a strange thing. As you get the kind of, in a way, progressive boom in the 50s of science fiction because of science.
Yes.
You also get a lot of very anti-progressive stuff. The whole race rioting thing really kicks off post-war and goes through the 60s as well. And that must have been something that people would see, like I might write a story about a pandemic today because I've seen it on the news.
Yep.
And it's been on the news a lot. It's on my mind. So if I was writing something, it might come out something to do with that. Not even necessarily intentionally. But I think the way to sort of decode these things is to look at what the big things were socially, societally at the time.
Absolutely.
And that's my pop psychology thought about what that whole thing might be. They making separate. That's what racism is.
Yes, it's othering. It's always othering.
Othering. That's absolutely, and coming from elsewhere to invade. That kind of mindset where migration of peoples across a country is seen as invasion. I think maybe the whole part of the alien boom in the 50s, particularly in things like this, which are kind of fairly crass,
Yes.
may have come from there. I could be completely wrong. It's a theory off the top of my head.
Well, we've got some theories in the chat,
Mhm.
so I'll read out some fun stuff and some serious stuff because you guys, the guys watching along, thank you so much for all your input. I'm looking as we talk, and I'm dying to read out some of the things here. So we've got here, we've got Moon Foundation. Moon Foundation's a big fan of yours, Rupert. And
Thank
Moon
you.
Foundation says, or they take the women away. Women are the rulers on other planets. Could have been that.
There were films like that. There were definitely ones where men would go to other planets for the first time and they'd find it's a matriarchal society, but it's always treated. The women always end up going swoon into the arms of the astronauts from Earth.
Absolutely. So there was a bit of that. So obviously, we're watching the other end of the scale right now. But Doom says, "Hi Doom. I would have thought it was communists. I mean, aliens were used as a stand-in for the Soviets in many other cases."
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a completely yes. I'd agree. That's another side, the more political side of it all.
Yes.
Red's under the bed hiding. Gore is hiding inside Steve.
Yes, absolutely. That's a really good point, Doom.
So it's infiltration. Yeah, nice.
A very good point. We've got Strangle. Hello, Strangle. Also, with the Cold War.
Hello.
Hello. There were a lot of fears about, Red's under the beds. He's just said that. Great. And scientists secretly being defectors and worries about nuclear bombs.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. And a great distrust of science. This whole thing. This is a brain attacking. But you get two sides of it. So it's almost like a kind of the dualism of the self. You get the sort of rational, scientific, caring, empathic side in Ball. I'm going to keep calling him Ball. And you get Gore, who the moment he gets his hands on a body, kind of goes, right then, I know what I'm off to do.
Good points here, really good points.
Gonna steal your girlfriend in your body and blow a plane up.
Ellie64 says, "Hi Ellie, I agree that hello. Ellie says, I agree that I think art in a time period often really reflects the fears, values, and subconscious mind of the society at the time." That's from fellow Aquarian Ellie64. There you go.
You see, it takes an Aquarian. And this is why things like this are actually, though it sounds a bit highfalutin, they're kind of historical documents.
Absolutely. We were talking about this earlier, me and Rupert, before because we do like a kind of test and then we come on later and we talk much, much more. And we kind of keep the rambling to the pre-calls and we try not ramble as much, but obviously that...
Because, that works. You can totally tell that, can't you?
Because that...
Silence!
For some reason, Rupert and I have very good ramble chemistry, and I'm not sure what it is.
We do. Well, we're both quite northern.
Yeah, I think that might be it. And
I think it's a geographical thing, And
I kind of sense a freakishness, a weirdo nature in Rupert's brain. I'm like, yes, love it.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, right back at you. Totally.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So there's like a ramble nature. I'm like, let's do a ramble. I'm fine. See, look, I'm rambling now. Fuck's sake.
Well, that's fine.
And Rupert lets me do it. He will let me ramble. I'm like, oh my god. Right.
I am not the host. I'm the co-host.
Too much.
My job. This is because you said to me at the beginning, so you sum up the story, and I thought, I'll get up for that.
Because I was looking at my notes and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hand it to Rupert. My
notes. This is my notes. My notes are great.
Guys, with great power comes great responsibility, so I must have...
This is an Aquarian piece of notepaper. It really is, isn't it?
And this is my Libra brain. Bullet points!
Oh, you're a Libra. That works. Yeah. I can be... See, I believe this stuff.
I want to believe. I hope you all believe as well. Libras and Aquarians, good mix that.
That's true. That's true.
Good mix. It is. Very good. Anyway, we're derailing. Stop it, Rupert. Stop it. Sorry. Derailing. We need a derail emote or something in the chat. Every time it goes ramble, people just hit it so that it reminds me. So anyway, back to the film. Jesus. We were talking about this earlier, and I sort of said, because I've read this before, that the human beings as a race have a 50-year memory. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't remember things that happen in history, that you don't learn things, that doesn't stick with you, but we see history repeating itself pretty much almost every 50, 60 years. And now, it's funny we mention all of these things, and then you think about what's happening now, but people from different communities, from whether you're of a different race, politics or a different, if you're LGBTQ plus, you're being there's othered. People are being othered. There's lots of right-wing populist governments in power at the moment, and I think God's like, yeah, what's happening right now? And you get a lot of escapist entertainment, like the Marvel franchise, Star Wars, all those kind of things that take you to galaxies far, far away, and it's very, it's like, let's escape, and bad forces, like in Marvel, I'll just use Marvel as an example, evil, bad forces, or even Star Wars, like recently.
Everything science fiction, really.
Yeah, evil, bad forces.
Doctor Who.
As well. Doctor Who as well. So you have these themes, and then it gets better, and then it comes back again. We're a very stupid race of beings.
So are you saying? Well, I agree with that. Are you saying we're now going to have 20 years of hell to live through before things get better? Because if so, I am going to the cave.
I'm hoping that the hell started with John Major or like Thatcher or whatever back then. So hopefully maybe this is just like the last.
The hell did start with Thatcher. Yes, I remember it.
If the hell started back then, and I'm hoping that maybe these are the last burning embers. I'm just hoping.
That would be nice.
One can dream. One can
dream.
So
one can fantasize, and then one can come back to reality and arm oneself and go to the cave and make sure you've got your food in and job. It's all good.
Well, I'm going down to Lidl. We're going to the cave.
Nice.
It's all good.
Where is this cave? We've got to actually find the cave first. This is a crucial flaw in the plan. We haven't actually found the cave.
Let me catch everyone up in the chat who hasn't been watching for the last few weeks. No, guys, to catch you up, it's very, very simple. Rupert and I went on one of our ramble chats, shall we call them? We went on, and that's one word, ramble chat.
It's ramble chat, TM.
Yeah, ramble chat, TM. We were on one of our ramble chats, and we decided that we would live in a cave. I think it was during the War of the Worlds, but the cave, we'd have to unscrew the cave, like, in the War of the Worlds.
Oh, yeah, cave lid, yeah.
So there's a big screwy thing, but we're also very cynical.
Do you want to think about that when you're saying it? There's a big screwy thing in a cave. Do you want to start again from scratch there?
Okay, the door...
What kind of FMV is this? Hang on.
Hey, get your head out of the gutter. I just said it was a door.
Silence!
So we've got this big door that unscrews like the War of the Worlds. And also, we've got me and Rupert in the cave, but we're very cynical, so we've got our backs to each other.
We're we're staring at each other. It's side-eye. It's all side-eye and stuff. It's who's going to move first.
Well, it's not me.
Is she going to go for that Milky Bar, or can I go for it? But if I go for it, maybe she'll put a bullet in my spine.
Then all of a sudden...
It's very northern.
Cave doorbell goes. You're like, oh, what was that? It's like, did you order a post-apocalyptic Domino's? Because I didn't order a post-apocalyptic Domino's. Like,
I'll be going, who the fuck installed a doorbell in a cave?
It's very practical. Doing that. It's very practical.
It's very good. It was you, though. You did that because you're a Libra. you thought ahead about that, and you thought, And then straight away I'm going to go, wait a minute, that's not my doorbell. She knew there was someone coming. And it just ups the ante.
I'm furnishing the cave, and I'm making it a nice place to live now, and I'm making it practical. Right.
What am I doing? Am I just kind of hanging in the cave, being an Aquarian?
Yes, you're hanging out.
Occasionally writing a poem or something like that.
You're
contributing to society.
Getting very het up about the unfairness of the world.
That's fine. I can do that in the cave. Yeah,
you can do that in the cave. You're writing away, and you're looking after the gerbil because you're a very kind-hearted Aquarian.
The gerbil. Of course, I've forgotten about the gerbil. Yeah.
There was a gerbil in the cave as
well.
There
is a gerbil in the cave, but sometimes it's a Schrodinger's gerbil. Is it alive? Is it dead? Who knows?
Well, you're the Aquarian, so,
If the gerbil's in the gerbil box, I can't just tell.
Okay.
Aquarians don't have the power of life and death over rodents like that. Or do we?
Oh, maybe this could be part of the end, like Seven. What's in the box? What's in the box?
Nice. Excellent. Is the gerbil alive or dead? Yes, no.
Nice.
Go left, go right.
A nice little pop culture reference there for folk that like Seven as well, and the films of David Fincher. Right, so now we've extended the Cave FMV. Every week we write a little bit more.
Yes, well, it's getting there. By the time we'll finish this season, are we doing seasons?
We could do seasons if you want. Yeah,
I don't know. I'd like the idea of having a season break so we can come back we can have a season finale, have a week off, and then come back with a season opener. That'd be fantastic.
I'm going to ask the guys in the chat before we go back. Oh God, Rupert, we've done it again.
I'm so sorry.
What are we even talking about anymore? Where am I?
I don't know.
Where am I? What's going on? Who are you? I don't know. We've done it again. Fucked
It's
it.
2020. It's impossible not to go bonkers.
Ellie64 says...
It'll start. Yeah.
We've got Ellie64 here saying, don't tell him our Aquarian secrets, Rupert.
Sorry. It's okay. You know that most of them I'm keeping back. You know.
Guys, would you, if we made a cave FMV, would you guys play it? Would you play it? Like, I mean, it's going to be very, very, just me and Rupert and a gerbil and perhaps a doorbell. That's all you're getting.
Maybe a brain. The brain might be in it.
Maybe a brain, but it's a prop. It's not. It's not. The effects won't be as good as the brain from Planet Arous. Okay. I'm not even promising you foil eyes. I'm not even promising you tinfoil eyes here. Okay. I'm just promising you like maybe some kind of like back turning and side eye. A lot of side eye. It's a lot of that. Yeah, whatever. Not gonna get the door. Jesus Christ, Rupert! I'm cleaning up the cave. You're fiddling with that gerbil in the box. That's not a euphemism, by the way. Just get the door.
Am I now? I see. Fiddling with a gerbil in a box.
Oh my God! Yeah, he's always fiddling with that bloody gerbil.
Apparently, I'm always fiddling with a gerbil in a box. The Schrodinger's gerbil that may or may not be a gerbil anymore. But it's in a box.
So I've asked people if they would play the cave FMV, right?
Because you just sold it so beautifully as well.
And Strangle says, "Sure, I'd play it. Rupert's welcome in my cave any day." You sure about that, Strangle? You sure about that? Cactus Knack says, "I'll have to now for the premise of you two, a gerbil, a brain, and a Domino's." Yes.
Great, excellent. All we have to do now is write it.
We'll get sponsorship from Domino's. I'm all over that. I will write the email. And
nice one. Yep.
Under Console Pod says, "Would back on Kickstarter." Yes.
Oh well, there we go.
We've got one. We've got at least £5.
We've got one backer.
We've got a £5.
Is it a full £5? I mean, that's nearly half the budget now.
I don't know. Under Console Pod, like if you can spare a £5.
That'll buy us a I don't know what.
Oh my God.
A room and build a cave in.
16-bit Wonder Kid says, "Take my money now." Thank you. Yes. Oh my God. Beige Runner says, and this is lovely, Beige Runner is clearly not a fan of mine. Is clearly a fan of yours. Beige Runner says, "I would play any FMV with Rupert just to eke out the contradiction. Hi."
Oh, thank you.
Rubbish Prussian says, "My gerbil is all..." Oh, there you go. You can even get one of those. I don't know what you call them. We'll call them... You've done
it's a this. It's called this. It's a this. Yeah, that's what I call it anyway, because that's what it's become in my life. It's a this.
Booth hands. Don't know if you want booth hands. They're very dangerous. And they play with a lot of gerbils. They've seen a lot of gerbils in their time. Anyway. Sorry.
What?
I don't know.
My hands have not seen a lot of gerbils. You have no honour. You killed my parents as kitten.
Oh my God. Cactus says, "Gerbils are costly." A Rubbish Prussian says, "My gerbil is already sufficiently disturbed. Don't need any extra fiddling." That's...
I promise I won't fiddle with your gerbil.
Oh my God.
She's misrepresenting me awfully.
Oh God. Right, let's go back. Seriously.
These hands are not gerbil fiddlers.
You heard it here first. You didn't say these hands.
That's taken out of context. These hands are not gerbil fiddlers.
I am clipping
Silence.
so much from this. So much. This whole bit.
Well, as long as it all goes into the game and people buy it, that's fine, you know.
I mean, are we just calling this podcast Ramble Chat now? Or
Ramble Chat. Yeah, cave-based Ramble Chat in a half shell.
I think I need to change the background to a cave.
We'll start a new chat. We'll start a new podcast, which is just the rambling about whatever people want us to ramble about.
Ramble Chat. We'll have a cave. There'll be
Ramble Chat.
I will get a picture of a gerbil. That's what
I kind of like the name Ramble Chat. It's got a kind of cat weasel sound to it. Ramble Chat.
Yeah, like Ramble Chat. Well, welcome to Ramble Chat. Yes.
On Ramble Chat today, we're talking to such and such about their gerbil, presumably. Yeah. Excellent. Ramble Chat. You heard it here first.
Get your gerbils out for future Ramble Chat.
Get your gerbils out for future ramble. You see, I'm doing fine now. You've just said get your gerbils out for future ramble chat. That's just, yeah. Good.
Oh my God. I think I am now the brain from Planet Eros. Oh my God. taken over my brain. Right, now, back to serious chat, guys. Serious
Oh,
chat.
yeah, back to serious chat.
Serious chat. So Doom actually asks Rupert a question. Sorry, Doom, we were really derailed, and you asked this a long time ago, but you said, so this is to you, Rupert.
Oh, yeah.
And to me actually as well. Do you figure we'll see anything in the next couple of years sci-fi inspired by the current situation? I know Japanese Godzilla movies that happens all the time. The recent Shin Gojira was a comment on Fukushima, for instance. So do you think we will see an explosion of that in our
get
cinemas?
Boring. Totally. Yeah? It'll be forever and ever, and we'll all get bored with it really quickly. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. All these things, because most of them can't be made at the moment. You can't get actors together in the same place. The high-end ones, it may be that they go to actually shooting all their individual actors on green screen distance and putting it all together literally piece by piece, which is doable, but very time-consuming and expensive. So yeah, there'll suddenly be there'll be films, there'll be TV shows, there'll be the whole damn lot, and I'll just go and watch my copies of Survivors from 1975.
Yeah. Now, let's talk more about the themes, okay?
Yes.
So let's talk about the themes of possession and loss of control and power.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see, in that way, like, do you think the themes are of loss of control, power, and things are seen through the eyes of Steve, or through more the eyes of the viewer and what the destruction of the alien could do?
Well, the viewer, and I suppose this is where Sally, you kind of see it through Sally. It sort of lingers with her sometimes. After Steve's got off going, well, I'm beat, I'm going to bed, for tomorrow I must destroy worlds. And it kind of, she kind of goes, there's something wrong with him, even though she's already said it millions of times. Why, you're changed. Oh, you're so different. It's actually more effective when she's just, left there on the end of a scene going,
yeah.
What's that at him? And like I say, it would be nice. You get like you get occasional times where Gore exits Steve, largely how I laugh at him, and Steve's himself again, and he's just ruined. Poor guy. He's heartbroken.
Yeah.
And he's scared and he's powerless. And Gore just goes, no, well, you've had your 5 minutes. I'm back in now.
Yeah, totally.
What a story, Mark. And Steve's back to being specialised again. But that I'd have made a lot more of, and I'd have had Steve's inner monologue as he tries to fight, and tries to reassert himself. What you could do a mindscape. You have Gore represented by an actor, by a human, because it's all symbolic, and Steve as himself, and they're kind of like Kirk and Bloke in Pink alternative hell place, fighting it out, but a psychological thing, a bit like the cave, sort of standing at opposite ends and eyeing each other and kind of get out of my brain. Yeah, I think there's a doorbell in your brain.
Guys, we're back to the cave again. We've gone back to the cave.
Sorry, yeah.
I think it's a happy place. It's because it's a happy place. Well, it's a tense but happy place. It's
a tense but happy place, and that's what the world's like now. The world's just tense at the moment. But themes-wise, possession is always a great theme. Possession's always a good way. It's thrown away in this, really. It's treated in a very light-hearted manner.
Whereas last week, obviously, not possession as such, but we see an invasion of the body.
Use. Yeah, possession in a different way, not in the mind, but still, you have no choice in the matter.
Absolutely, and alien, no choice in the matter whether you're a man or a woman, and it's very invasive. So this is so different because you just get floaty brain that kind of fades into you, kind of thing, which is so different.
And there's only about 4 stock shots of the floaty brain that they use as well, so it's always the same floaty brain floating into you, even when it's Vol.
Yeah, like, which one's which? I'd be like, who are you?
Are you on the dog? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, like, your voices kind of sound similar. Like,
yeah,
like it's not very well thought out. Let's put it that way.
Oh no, no.
Now,
it's done in a hurry. I'm quite sure.
Let's get to the actual crux of the podcast. It's taken us 45 minutes to get here, but we're here. Sci-Future. Okay, so you're possessed, but let's consider this, right? So let's consider this vibe. If you're possessed by an alien terrorist, Rupert, this is a question to you, and this is a question to the chat. Imagine you're possessed by an alien terrorist. Do you resist, or just think, who gives a shit? Destroy the Earth. It's on fire anyway. What do you do? How do you resist?
Well, I mean, it seems like you can't resist unless Steve's a very weak-willed individual, which he might be if that's how he kissed her beforehand. So, I think really resistance is useless when against a brain from planet Arous. Um, but I was thinking about the futures, the sci-futures part of it when I was watching it earlier on today for research.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where Gore outlines his evil plan to the leaders of the world, and he's saying, "Okay, I'm going to twat everything unless you do as I say, and we're going to build a space fleet and fill it full of human soldiers, and I'm going to go back to Arus and level it." And presumably he feels he's been wronged. After which he says, "And then your people can live out their puny lives in peace." So two things arose from that.
Okay.
One is that in the immediate future, our lives would all be as slaves to help build this space force. Mm-hmm. Two, he wants to build a space force. The brain from Planet Arous is Trump.
Oh, full circle.
Yeah.
Full circle.
So possibly someone should just go up to Trump and take an axe to his fissure of Rolando. I'm quite happy to.
I feel like he's more of the blancmange from Planet Arous. I don't even call he is. Yeah. I wouldn't even say he's a brain at this point.
Maybe he's the duodenum from Planet Arous. Maybe other body parts got a bit bored of the brains always floating out. No, I'm going to go and be the toe from Planet Arous.
Totally.
I possess someone. I'm brilliant. I'm a toe.
I am the useless, rotting pink toe from Planet Arous.
From Planet Arous.
Arous.
Yeah. It could be all body parts. It would be great. In which case, you're kind of wondering why Gore didn't send something else that he's clearly more interested in.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that pivotal scene, very dramatic scene in The Brain from Planet Arous, right? Where
there is one.
Where Vol says, "Who should I possess?" So, who would you have possessed? The father, Sally, or the dog?
Well, Sally, but only out of curiosity.
So I think Sally would work best. Like,
get
him all horny.
Who I'd possess. I mean,
get him all into it. Get Gore into it. I wonder what
that's. Well, yeah. but no, is it? Well, actually, yeah, because then, maybe she could have. And then the fissure and the brain's got to come out though.
Yeah, so, the brain.
Gore would want to stay exactly where he was.
Unless you make it so off-putting, like you make it a terrible experience to the point it goes, I've got to leave, I've got to get out of this body.
I've got to get out, sorry, I'm just going to the toilet, and leaps out the window, metaphorically.
Got to get out there. I would still say the dog. Bugger it. Well, the dog worked well.
I wouldn't bugger the dog, but yeah.
On the Trump,
whatever gets you through the night.
On the Trump brain thing, Ellie64 says, and I think this is a Trump impression, "We got the best brains. We got the best."
We got the best. They think bigly. Yeah.
Big beautiful brains. Some planets they got okay brains.
Silence.
Not like China. Oh God. Anyway, no Trump.
Yeah, China, who only fucking invented rockets about like thousands of years ago.
China.
Yeah, they know nothing.
So, okay, let me ask you another question. Okay, why are these aliens always out to destroy? Where are the friendly aliens? Or maybe the terrorist, Gore, was a terrorist for a reason. Maybe he's escaping capitalism in his home planet. We don't know that.
That's possible. Well, he does seem to be wrong. He wants to build a space force and go back to annihilate and take over. And yeah, we don't know why. Again, I'd want to explore that. I'd go, what's your beef with your own kind, man? What happened? Tell us your sad story. Well, and if you're hovering there and you feel pathos for him, and you're going, I see why you've turned out the way you have, floating brain.
Doom says here, thanks for your comments, Doom. Another tricky one. I have to admit, Sally makes tons of sense. Now that you mention it, the dog is good camouflage, but kind of limited. No thumbs and all that. That's very true.
Sally could pick up an axe, as soon as Gore was out, and straight to the fissure of Rolando where it hurts.
Exactly. But I like the idea that maybe you should acquire the rights to this, write a sequel where we go back to the.
I wonder how much it would cost.
I wonder how much it would cost. Do you think it would cost?
I wonder how much. Seriously, I a couple of months ago I was talking to my friend Emily about what you'd do as a spin-off, modern day. Like they did War of the Worlds as a series in the 90s, based on the 50s film. Yeah. You do that. You do Return of the Brain from Planet Arous, and it's Vol who's come back saying, "Oh no, because they dealt with Gore, but there's a whole maybe Gore had supporters. Maybe Gore was political."
Yes.
Maybe Gore was Che Guevara. And
Oh.
they've all got these pictures, they've all got these red posters with a brain on it, with Gore with his eyes and his special eyes and stuff, and they're all going, yeah, freedom for Aros, and they're coming to Earth en masse, and it would be about the
Yes.
plucky band of humans who resist them.
Yes. I mean,
See, it writes itself. It's great, isn't it?
I mean,
But the stipulation is it's got to be written and played in exactly the same sort of way. That's the universe of the Brain from Planet Arous. We do not have the right to change it.
no, I think it has to be the same. The eyes,
So
the tinfoil eyes,
the eyes
everything.
to follow eyes. Well, shoot in colour.
Everything.
Women won't be completely ciphers, But I think I'm playing a detective in it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think we came up with. Yeah.
I think Rupert's got to play a detective. I will play a
and-
reporter. I will be
and-
the reporter, and you could be a detective.
And the brains must be on strings, and that's all there is to it.
Yes, I'm 100% in.
Don't talk to me about CGI.
Oh no.
This is a fucking wasp floating brain coming at you and wobbling, and that'd be great.
No. Yeah, we keep it all the same, guys. We need to start the fundraiser now to
Absolutely.
acquire the rights.
Let's find out how much the rights are. It can't be more than about 25p. And yeah, let's make that serious. That's a straight to YouTube direct hit. I tell you, it'll be monumental.
I'm into it. With that statement, we've reached the end of the show.
And that's the end.
And we've reached the end of the show, and we did massively get sidetracked, but we came back. We brought it back.
We did, just sort of, yeah.
We brought it back. More installments with the Cave FMV probably next week.
Undoubtedly.
Yes, silence. Silence. Right, Rupert, do you have any news to share before you go? Any news? What's going on? What's going on in the world of Rupert?
Ask me again this time next week.
Ooh, and I have news. I'm going to be in a FMV game
That's
with
true.
Rupert.
That's true. That's true. Maybe that was the news you were alluding. That was the news you were alluding to, wasn't it? Damn,
I mean, I'm not gonna say yes or no. I'm just gonna, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. So,
I'm not even saying it. I'm just behold the brain, fear the brain.
Yes, Rupert and I are in a FMV game called
We are.
Road to Nowhere.
Road to Nowhere. Yep.
So, Rupert, tell me about your character in Road to Nowhere.
I'm playing a psychologist. I'm playing the chap who psychoanalyzes the lead character.
There you go. And I'm playing. And what's your character? Wait, no, what's your character name?
Psych.
Psych.
At the moment. Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
All shall be revealed. All shall be revealed.
They may have given me a name, but it's been a busy day. I did some lines this afternoon actually, and sent them over from my cave. I have a duvet cave because we can't go to recording studios. I have very little of my kit here at the moment. So it was build a duvet cave. It was like build a fort, and I was stuck inside my fort with the laptop propping it up at one end and the recorder here in front of me, and just thinking this is like being 5.
Rupert is already. Hey, maybe that's the secret ending of the Cave FMV, that you're actually 5 years old.
And I'm in a duvet.
And you're under duvet. Oh, either that or 7. Either that or the 7 ending, but with gerbil.
That's all right. Well, we can't talk about that anymore because that's an ending given away now.
That's 2 endings. It's an FMV.
That's 2 endings given away. I too am disappointed.
Oh no, I feel the cold shame of disappointment. Yeah, look, no, sorry, Rupert. Anyway, guys, Rupert is in Road. Oh God, guys, let him have his moment,
right,
guys.
I finished.
Okay, he's finished it. Thanks, Rupert. You all right? You sure you're okay?
I'm good. I'm good now. Yeah.
So Rupert is in this game, Road to Nowhere. I am also in the game, Road to Nowhere. I play Gina Winters, who is a reporter. And I can't say anything apart from I have a special part to play that might be more important than you think, and that's all I can say. I've been told.
Does it involve gerbils?
Unfortunately, it does not.
Then I'm going to just get on to 15-bit straight away after this and go, can it involve gerbils?
I'm wondering if we should just pitch this whole Cave FMV idea to 15-bit games. So guys...
They go for it.
You know what, guys? We've got a groundbreaking idea. It involves 2 people in a cave and a gerbil. Yep, that's it. Sold. That's our pitch meeting. No slides needed, no PowerPoint.
There we go. That was it. That was the entire thing. Get back to us.
That is the entire thing.
Be quick.
But because we're pitching.
This
We're pitching.
isn't going to be around forever. This is
No.
hot.
No, it's hot shit. So you gotta get
Yeah.
on it.
It is actually hot shit, which is kind of diarrhea, basically. That's hot
Hey,
shit.
I want the Cave FMV to be the brain of Planet Arous for the FMV world.
You are on.
That's what I want.
Right,
That's what I
right.
want.
We'll do that. Absolutely.
We're doing it, man. We're doing it. Right.
Excellent. Right.
Guys,
Job.
we are gonna go now. But Rupert, before we go,
Yes.
please let us know where we can find you online.
You can find me on Twitter, basically. That's the place where I interact with people. So Twitter, yeah. People mention things like Instagram to me, but
It's fine. You're all right. You're okay. You're okay.
on Twitter.
Just stick to Twitter for just now. So Rupert Booth on
to.
Twitter, Rupert Booth, and I'm Weeclair on Twitter and Weeclair here on Instagram. If you care to follow me there, I have actually posted some stuff. So
Cool.
there's things there you can see now. I was on lockdown, no going near Instagram for a long time, and now I've posted some things. So please follow Rupert Booth on Twitter. Please make sure you follow me on Twitter. It's Weeclair or Weeclair here on Instagram. Rupert, it's been amazing. Next week we will look at children of men.
Absolutely.
Children of
Absolutely. A
Men.
complete tonal shift from this.
Complete shift from this. So very serious. We're getting serious. We're not even gonna make any jokes next week. Nothing. No laughter. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Not even a little ramble?
Maybe a fraction of the ramble chat we've had today.
A fraction of the ramble chat. TM.
Okay, TM, Ramble Chat TM. That Ramble Chat might be the after show that we have after this show at some point.
Nice. Ramble chat would be a great social media network, actually.
Ramble Chat. Oh
Yeah.
God, this is another. Oh no more ideas. No
Sorry.
more.
This is what happens. Seriously, this is what my lockdown's been like. More and more ideas are coming at me from people because people have got time to come up with the ideas.
Hey, I'm the same. I think people can tell by the amount of layouts that I have for my Twitch streams. I'm like, oh, there's another layout. There's another layout. Here I'm in space. Here I'm in a cinema. Here I'm in a thing. I'm in a room, a virtual room. I love it. I'm all about it.
Commence Ramble Chat.
Let us commence. Yeah, so maybe you might see Ramble Chat at some point as the after show.
If you really want.
If you really want. If you guys want it, then tweet us. That's all I'm saying. Right. We're going to love you and leave you, Rupert. We will see you next Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. See you later.
Thank you very much, all.
Bye.
Be seeing you. Bye.